The Little Champion, a story of perseverance and hard work. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the hills, there was a little boy named Arif. Arif was only 8 years old, but he was known in his village for his incredible work ethic. Unlike most children his age who played all day, Arif spent his time working hard to help his family. Arif's family was not wealthy, and his father was a farmer who worked in the fields from dawn till dusk. Arif's mother, too, worked long hours at home, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of his younger siblings. Despite the challenges, Arif was always eager to lend a hand. He would carry water from the well, help his father with planting seeds, and even chop wood for the winter. One day, as Arif was working in the fields with his father, he overheard some older children talking about an upcoming race in the village. The prize was a shiny golden trophy, and Arif's eyes sparkled as he thought about winning. The race was a big event, and everyone in the village was excited. But there was one catch. Arif had never run a race before. "I want to win that trophy," Arif said to his father. "I'll practice every day." His father smiled and said, "Winning a race isn't about how fast you run, son. It's about how hard you work, how much you're willing to push yourself, and the strength you have inside to keep going when everyone else has stopped. If you truly want to win, you must never give up, no matter how difficult it gets." Arif took his father's words to heart. He started practicing every day after his chores. He would run up and down the hills near his home, even when he was tired. His legs ached, his body screamed for rest, but Arif never stopped. Every day he pushed himself harder. His friends laughed at him, calling him crazy for practicing so much. "Why are you working so hard, Arif?" they would ask. "It's just a race. You can never win." But Arif wasn't listening to them. He remembered his father's words. "It's not about how fast you run, it's about how hard you work." Days turned into weeks, and the race day finally arrived. The entire village gathered to watch. The runners lined up at the start, each one wearing new shoes and bright clothes. Arif stood at the back, wearing his old worn-out shoes. But his heart was full of confidence, knowing that he had worked harder than anyone else. The race began, and right from the start, Arif lagged behind. The other children sprinted ahead, leaving him far behind. But Arif didn't panic. He kept his pace steady, focusing on his breathing and reminding himself to never give up. As the race continued, the other children grew tired. Some of them slowed down, while others stopped to catch their breath. Arif, however, was still running. With every step, he reminded himself of the countless hours he had spent practicing. He thought about his family, his father's advice, and how much he had worked to get to this point. Finally, as the finish line came into view, Arif was neck and neck with the other runners. They were all exhausted, but Arif had one thing they didn't. He had the strength to keep going. With one final burst of energy, Arif sprinted ahead and crossed the finish line first. The crowd erupted in applause. Arif had done it. He had won the race, not because he was the fastest, but because he was the hardest working. The golden trophy was handed to him, but the real reward was the sense of pride he felt in knowing that all his hard work had paid off. Arif's story became a legend in the village. He was an example to everyone, young and old, that success isn't about talent or luck. It's about dedication, perseverance, and the willingness to keep going, even when things seem impossible. From that day on, Arif became known as the little champion of the village. He continued to work hard every day, not for the trophies or the praise, but for the belief that hard work is the key to success. And so, the lesson of Arif's life spread far and wide. The strongest people are not those who are born with talent, but those who work relentlessly to make their dreams come true. Moral of the story: success is not determined by talent alone. Hard work, persistence, and the willingness to keep going, even when others doubt you, is what ultimately leads to victory. No matter how young or small you may be, never underestimate the power of your determination.